So more on the fun front, wasn't it you under Coach Odell one day that was pretending to chew out the freshman guys who were running against the varsity?
You know, Dick, we used to pull so much stuff down there. The freshman kids would go and the varsity would just beat up on them. Now my job was running the scout team. So after a particularly hot day and we really got tore up, I took them way down the end by the shed and I said, okay, everybody kneel down, okay, look at me, shake your heads or hang your heads. I said, what I'm going to do is give you a break, but I'm going to make it look like I'm chewing you out. So the kids just took a knee, they were relaxed, I had water passed out and everything else. We were down there about 15 to 20 minutes and I'm making believe, this, and that. And the manager comes down and he says, Coach Lamb, Coach Odell doesn't want you chewing these kids out like you're chewing them out. The kids were all laughing because I wasn't chewing them out. And I said, well, they haven't done what we've asked them to do. You know, they've been lying down. And Coach says, just relax with them, relax with them. So the manager left and the kids they just thought that was the best. I mean, it was perception. I'm going to tell you about two kids, Bodie Amos and David Weck. They were two football players, played freshman for me, and whenever we'd go against the varsity, they were two corners, so they had to take the wideouts on either side. And in order to motivate them, I said, you've got to play press coverage, which means you've got to get right up on that kid's nose and not let them catch the pass. But when you do that, you leave yourself open for a lot of other little things. But it's a good training technique for young kids. So they got beat so many times, I gave them a name, the Toast Brothers, because they'd line up, and the guy go right by and burn them like toast. So they were the Toast Brothers. Bodie Amos and David Weck. As sophomores, as the juniors and the seniors, Bodie was a starting corner, David was a strong safety, and they made all league honors. They were terrific players, and they always said, you know, Coach, starting us off with the press coverage, playing when we're going against the varsity, we don't care if we're the Toast Brothers. It was a very good learning experience.
You also had a famous freshman game once against the Yale freshman team, and the outcome wasn't supposed to go in Williams' favor, but most of the guys that played in that game attribute your pregame speech to their success.
It was 1969. We were supposed to play Wesleyan for homecoming. They didn't have a team. So Frank Toms called up his friend, Gib Holgate down at Yale, and said, send up the Yale freshman team to play our freshman team for homecoming weekend. So Yale arrives in two buses. They had white uniforms on, they looked mammoth, and we're playing down at Cold Field. So, what are you going to do? We'll put a good show on, and, this will be a good experience. So I got the team together. And I'm trying to figure, what am I going to, we're playing Yale, So I said, well, Frank tried to get Ohio State, but they couldn't make it. So we've got Yale. And the nice thing about Yale, gentlemen, is that you guys were all rejected by Yale. Probably because they didn't think you could play football or you weren't smart enough. Now you have an opportunity to go out and make up for that. And Dick, they did. We beat them 28-14. Those kids will never, ever forget that game. The interesting thing was that team, that freshman team, that was our first year, was not recruited by the coaches. Phil Wick and Phil Smith and Tom Leas, a guy from Buffalo, passed away. His sons came here. They were the ones that got the players. And that was the team. Those freshmen, when they were seniors, were Bob Odell's first year. And we beat Amherst, and I think we were 7-1 that first. I'll tell you another one I did, which they still talk about. We were supposed to play RPI on a Sunday afternoon, and we got out there, and RPI was late. We had done our pre-practice, and we were all set. You know, it was a beautiful sunny day, and RPI hadn't shown up. Now, so what do? The 35 kids standing around, we're all ready to go, and so I said, well, we got to rest. And I said, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to lie down in a W, a block W on the field, because there's a plane going to come by and wants to take a picture of the block W on the field. So the kids got into it, lay here, lay here. We laid down, we moved this guy around, moved this guy. So finally we got this beautiful W laid on the field. I said, now I'll tell you when the plane comes by, but just don't move. So they're relaxing, but this went on for about 20 minutes. Finally the kids are going, where's the plane, coach? Where's the plane? And I'm waiting for RPI to show up. Where's the plane, coach? Where's the plane? I said, it's coming, don't worry about it. Just don't move. This is perfect. This is perfect. So the bus shows up, RPI comes out of the bus, and the kids are now, you know, where's the plane? And honest to God, Dick, a plane takes off from North Adams, a little Piper Cub, goes down over the campus, makes a right-hand turn, and flies right over Cole Field. The kids weren't even moving. The plane went by. I said, okay, that's terrific. We got the picture. They've never seen the picture because the plane didn't take the picture. But those, you know, you do these things.